The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Monday, April 20th. It's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for today. The news, both newspapers are thick. I mean, extremely thick. I would encourage you to go and buy the Nassau Guardian because you know our news is always good and goes in detail about what is happening around the country. The headlines are basically reading about the candidate's declaration. I mean, all of the radio stations throughout the Bahamas are talking about that. Also in the headlines, reading about the U.S. Embassy and, in fact, the United States ambassador's comments regarding the Chinese loan to the Bahamas to build the newspaper. To build the new hospital. I may go into and delve into that because I'm now questioning the intent. Right, this is the second time. That the U.S. ambassador injected himself into this conversation regarding this this investment or this loan regarding the hospital. The first time was interesting, intriguing. I assumed that our government dealt with it, or responded to them, or had a meeting with the U.S. Embassy and explaining why. The ambassador explained that he's prepared to seek out loan persons to give us a loan. And our government explained, right? We asked for a loan before, or interest before, and nothing happened. But it was all the rigmarole was concluded. So I'm concerned. No, concerned is too harsh of a word. It doesn't bother me. These things beyond me. I am entertained to see that the ambassador is insistent, continues to push forward, and we using words that we are a sovereign country coming from the office of the Prime Minister office. I don't know where it goes from there. The very idea that the ambassador continues to push hints to me that I choose my words now, that they are concerned, right? And they list the reasons why they're concerned, labor laws, whatever it is. Our official response from the office of the Prime Minister concluded the conversation, said, "Man, it is what it is," right? So it's wild that the conversation, the push back and forth, continues despite there seem to have been conclusion on this issue. The hospital come in. The loan has been accepted. The document has been signed. The banter back and forth. What's the intended results? What is anticipated? But anyway, I move from there. What I'm going to do today, right? Because I know every talk show host is going to be talking about the declaration, I'm going to specifically call out the names and the money. Right? Try change it a bit. And you can do commentary about that too. Right? So number one on the list with $469 million and change is Rick Fox. That is his net worth. Second on the list is Sebastian Bastian with $28 million, almost $29 million. Third on this particular list, I see the other newspaper had Chester Cooper someplace there. I don't see his name, but I'll just read what I'm seeing right here on this clip in the Tribune. Right? It says the third person on the list with $19 million would be Hubert Minnis. Fourth on the list will be Veronica McIver with $12 million. Fifth on the list would be Leslie Miller Bryce with $8 million, almost $9 million. And I'll just continue calling the names. Then next would be Dwayne Sands with $8 million. Andrew Blue Johnson, that's a Kemper Road candidate, with $6 million. Dr. Nicholas Fox with $5 million. Otis Forbes with $4 million, almost 5. Dr. Michael Darville with $4 million, almost 5. Miss Jacqueline Penn Knowles, the mortician, with $4 million, almost $5 million. Attorney, former police officer, Keith Bell, with $3 million, almost $9 million. $3 million, almost $4 million. Say that properly, right? Then Obi Roberts with, $3 million. Then Wayne Monroe with $2 million, almost $3 million. Brian Brown with $2 million, almost $2 million. Okay. Adrian White with $2 million. Owen Wells with $2 million. Michael Folks with $2 million. I see the difference now. I need to do a correction. I had Jacqueline Penn Knowles as Donnelly Mackey Penn. I just noticed it's a similar last name. Two different people. So let me correct Jacqueline Penn Knowles, first of all, with $4 million, almost $5 million. And I'm moving back to Donnelly Penn with $1 million, almost $2 million. So I just want to correct that. Lincoln Deal is $1 million, almost $2 million. Robin Lyons is $1 million, almost $2 million. Marvin Deems net worth is $1 million, almost $2 million. Donna Dorset Major is $1 million. Fred Mitchell is $1 million. Dr. Brenda Harris Pinder is $1 million. Darren Pickstock is $1 million. Orinthia Komolafe is $1 million. Lincoln Bain is $1 million. Mikkel Barnaby is $1 million. Latoya Bain is $1 million. Miles LaRoda is $1 million. Darvin Russell is $1 million. Glennis Hannah Matten is $1 million. Ellsworth Johnson is $1 million. Darren Hensfield is $1 million. Heather Watkins Hunt is $1 million. Michaela Barnett Ellis is under $1 million, but close, with $942,000. Hal Keys with $942,000. Shannon Dawn Cartwright with $938,000. This surprised me. Joe Beth Colby Davis with $900,000. Daphne Johnson with $830,000. Trevor Grain with $815,000. Pia Glover Roll with $804,000. Gladville McDonald with $795,000. Keno Wong with $782,000. Elkin Sutherland with $77,000. Servant Roll with $747,000. Jomo Campbell with $743,000. Mario Boleg with $731,000. Marcus Rule with $683,000. Graham Weatherford with $615,000. Patrice Hannah Carey with $600,000. Travis Robinson with $598,000. Shantiqua Claire with $592,000. Karen Thomas Butler with $584,000. I think Karen is an independent candidate, if I'm not mistaken. William Knowles Jr., $546,000. Travina Clark Hall with $540,000. Brian Roll with $536,000. Maria Daxton with $507,000. Oh, incorrect, because this is Karen Kim Butler. So many people with the same names. Karen Thomas Butler and Karen Kim Butler. Okay. And this Karen Kim Butler is $506,000. Right? Then Yvette Prince is $503,000. Patricia Ann DeVoe is $474,000. Kirk Farrington is $466,000. O'Brien Knowles, $456,000. Wade Watson, $451,000. Simeon Mackey is $435,000. Kieran Farrington, $430,000. Denarelli, or let's see this word, Darnell, how do you know how to pronounce it? Denarel. Okay, Denarel Rule is $417,000. Stephen McQueen, $376,000. Jamal Woodside, $362,000. Craig Powell, $350,000. Jay Philippe, $335,000. Jamal Strawn, which is $328,000. Shameen Adley, $287,000. Jamal Morse declared $255,000 its net worth. Zane Lightburn, $244,000. Anthony Ramming, $239,000. Heather McDonald, $138,000. Bobby Brown, $106,000. Charlotte Green, $47,000. Antonio Bean, $34,000. Faith Presenti, $12,000. Leroy Major is unlisted. Linda Stubbs is unlisted. Tyrone Green is unlisted. So I have some other names here. This is Grand Bahama candidates. I see what they did, why some names are missing. They put it in reference to New Providence and the Family Island. So it's not necessarily in chronological order of all of the candidates up and down, but it was chronological order based on which island you're from, because now we're on Grand Bahama. Before, the names that I called were for New Providence, and that went in chronological order there. So this is Grand Bahama candidates now. Worth. Dr. Monique Pratt with $4 million. Michael Pintad is worth $3 million. Net worth is $3 million, almost $4 million. Edward Wan is $2 million, almost $3 million. Aram Lewis is $1 million. Paco Deal is $848,000. Omar Isaac is $761,000. This is Frazette Gibson, which is $560,000. James Thompson, that is Quasi Thompson, is $538,000. Ginger Moxie is $500,000. Dr. Charlene Reed is $469,000. Tony Albury is $202,000. Frederick McAlpine, $192,000. Kingsley Smith, this is interesting also, $117,000. Julian Bartlett is $6,000. And unlisted will be Daniel Mitchell and Dexter Edwards are unlisted. And now we move on to the Family Island candidates' net worth. Leading the declaration would be for Exuma, Isaac Chester Cooper, whose net worth is $28 million. Then Renika Knowles is $5 million. Sylvester, I guess that's Andre Rollins. Andre Rollins is $5 million. Okay, again, text. Clay Sweeting is $4 million. That's that fishing money. Leonardo Lightburn is $3 million. Mike Holmes is $2 million. Ryan Forbes is $2 million. Leon Lundy is $1 million. Deborah Moxie Roll is $1 million. Crystal Williams is $1 million. Carlton Bowleg is $1 million. Kate Williamson is a little under $1 million, is $987,000. Kirk Cornish is $819,000. So let me see. Kate Williamson is $987,000. Kirk Cornish is $819,000. Philippa, where is Philippa name on this list? Philippa Kelly is $719,000. Natasha Mitchell is $718,000. Natasha Turnquest is $607,000. Donna Mackey is $603,000. Bradley Fox is $549,000. Julian Gibson is $518,000. James Ferguson is $500,000. Carlton Clare is $449,000. Janice Oliver is $360,000. Kai Mills is $350,000. Shura Pratt is $349,000. Byron Smith, $349,000. Jamie Sweeting, $313,000. Ronald Ambrista is $256,000. Randy Roll, $239,000. Terrence Boodle, $60,000. Indira Lang is $34,000. Deidre Taylor is $4,000. And the following people at the end are listed. Brikira Taylor, unlisted. Paul Rule, unlisted. Hiram Rule, unlisted. And Philip, who? Philip Davis? What do you mean Philip Davis unlisted? Philip Davis, my prime minister. Anyway, Philip Davis is enlisted. And that's all of the candidates there. Like I said, they separated the New Providence Island. And the top of the New Providence Island list would be Aldrich Rick Fox. Top of the Grand Bahama candidate's net worth would be Dr. Monique Pratt with $4 million. And the top of the Family Island's net worth would be Chester Cooper with $28 million. Interesting, right? But what all that means? What exactly does net worth means? What all are the candidates are responsible to list, right? And is there a check and balance? Is there someone assigned to go and investigate these candidates' net worth? Or do they sign a declaration of truth, like a swear oath, this is what I'm worth, right? This is what I'm worth, and we accept it as the truth, and then we move on. It's not something that you substantiate. I want someone to confirm what it is. And net worth just means the total value of what someone owns minus what they owe. So the assets and liabilities you subtract, right? And then you have a person's net worth, right? So the assets that you own is like cash, bank accounts, property, house and land, like vehicles. You can actually put in your vehicle, how much your vehicle's worth. I have a used car, so that ain't worth much. Investment stocks and businesses, valuables like jewelry, and liabilities like loans. If you borrow a lot of money, you have some liabilities, right? Credit card debt, mortgages. Most of us have mortgages, right? And then you have vested interest inside your house. And then any unpaid bills, right? So that is basically what is happening here. We now know basically with these people, these kind of networks. I see the phone is ablaze. Let's start off with this particular caller. Guardian Radio AM. Welcome to Guardian Radio AM. How you doing, sir?
All right. What's up, mate?
Radio man, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. I find it very interesting as you were calling off those figures and the individuals in particular who those are aligned with. And I'm glad that you said what you said, net worth. And even saying that, I don't believe that all of that may be accurate, but it's what is reported.
It is what is reported, and that's what we're going by.
Yeah, that's what we were going by in relation to that. And, as I started to say, one of the key things I always tell persons is this, and in particular, we were talking earlier about what went down, with the call yesterday. I mean, with that thing that was going on yesterday with Mr. Bain and those. And, I found it very interesting to see where exactly it was going and what was happening and all this other stuff tying into.
Let me pause you now because I want to engage you. I'm not interrupting your time. We can still talk and let you talk, but I want to ask the question so you can respond, right? So we can have that type of conversation. First, I don't necessarily agree with Mr. Bean's or Mr. Brown's position. See the joke there, right? However, I appreciate his question, and I want to acknowledge him because he is definitely using his resources to do some research and question the status quo. When he asked the question or put the position that did he declare, he's challenging again Mr. Sebastian's ability to contest the general election and said he didn't declare certain numbers, whatever it is. I know few Bahamians were even aware that was in the Constitution. His position being right or wrong, or his interpretation being right or wrong, is a different issue altogether. But he put it forward that there should have been a declaration before the election, and it hasn't been declared at all. And again, I'm putting at this key thing is at this present time, it was not declared. And I see that a number of KCs from the Progressive Party came out of the blue, and now they are also Constitution and saying the candidate, Mr. Bastian, has time to formally declare. And it could be subjective in terms of you're ready to declare. What you mean you have extra time? No, you should have declared all that when you came to sign on today. All that's subjective. But it's an interpretation that the election hasn't been called yet. It's up to the day before the election, and you can still put in the information, and all that's subjective. I'm not arguing whether it's a good argument or wrong or right. The idea that Mr. Bain came forward and put it forward for us in the listening air to consider, to appreciate, to do some introspection, so let's do our own research. It must be commended, and I want to say, hey, thanks. So now I'm going to research and get my own conclusion to say whether he's right or wrong. But at least we are having that type of conversation, and I think it is something to show appreciation for. Go ahead, caller.
Okay. Well, first of all, one of the key things that I always address is, not only what is being said by either side, but what is actual law, and understanding the law. And as you mentioned just a few seconds ago, a number of QCs had come out and stated as such. So I'm trying to figure out what was the circus about last evening. If it is understood that the time in which this individual has to do what he has to do is lawful and legal, was it just to prove that the individual had certain buildings and stuff, which on the ground, so many Bahamians already know who own certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even if they perceive or they've heard in the wind that certain people own certain things, that's not a point. That's not a point of any genius or determining whatever.
But it's part of the election process. The idea is we know this is a spin. We acknowledge the spin. So I appreciate the spin.
It's just a spin. But the fact of the matter, and the legal fact of the matter, is this, because that's the only thing we need to be addressing, is that there's nothing wrong with individuals having trust or foundations or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with me if I decide to leave my daughter or my son or whoever the hell it is to be in charge of my foundation or listed in their names or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Not a thing. And why I said that I felt as though it was somewhat of an insult to people. What were you trying to prove? That the individual owns certain buildings and therefore they're rented by the government? And how many persons previously and currently?
We only talk about this one. No, let me stop you. No, don't stop you. We talk about this one. We only talk about this person. We ain't going about previous and long time ago. I can bring that up on a different...
I understand. I understand.
Different
the law still applies to those individuals as well.
Only this person we talking about. One person. Stay focused. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm focused, but I'm still saying to you.
No. Stay focused on this person.
I'm not going to say what you think I'm about to say. I'm just going to say that, yes, that individual who he spoke to and who he addressed, he did nothing wrong. That was nothing wrong. I repeat that again. And I think because a lot of individuals are not, or don't make themselves address, or don't like to read, or don't like to, find out things themselves, and just basically are followers. I think that that last night was total confusion. I think that it was not even really something of substance, because showing transactions and showing deeds and all this other stuff and whatnot, there's nothing illegal about that. And I think the heading that was mentioned, criminal enterprise, that already, that's a turn off already.
It's a criminal spin. Enterprise. It's a political spin. I'm used to that.
No. It's not only political spin. It speaks to you're speaking to an individual's character and who he is.
Yes, it's like when you suggest that a certain leader has mental illness and shouldn't run. It's a spin. I mean, we have leaders who did that.
I think mental illness and calling somebody a criminal.
No. If you have a mental illness in this case, you can't run. That when they said he does not deserve to run, and they say it again and again and again.
If I were the individual who was being called a criminal
or have mental illness,
I would be seeking any from the law to get repercussions, because you're calling me and calling me a criminal. Period.
Yes.
However you want to spin it.
We shall see if they do that.
Do you have facts that I am a criminal?
We shall see if they do that. And all this is spinning part of the political fodder. We in the Bahamas understand what is happening. There's no need to get any charges or anything. It wasn't anything completely so egregious to say, well, I can call the police. No. We understand there's a spin he was doing. You shake your head at it and say, look at this one. Look at this one. But let's go to the next caller. I'm going to read this text while I go into the next caller. It says, CA, the majority of those candidates are lying. Some of them, which is the majority, are using other people's assets. Modified of them, most of them, I guess, they said, are broke. There's no investigation. One must also appreciate that one's life insurance is also included. So the idea of saying that some of the candidates can't afford a good life insurance, that don't make no sense. Yes. My life insurance is $200,000. I could declare that. I could do that. I only could cover the host, though. That's why you have to have 2 and 3 life insurance. Let's go to the caller. Guardian Radio AM.
Hey, good day. Hello?
Are you live?
Yeah, man. Good day, CA. Man, CA, we really have to grow up with this in this country, man, because everybody have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when it relates to Mr. Baines last night, like the fellow, the advocate for the PLP was talking to just now, right? When Mr. Baines was and I respect this man as a human, as a human. Freedom of Information Act, for a lot of Bahamians would do have the ability to understand, and then he makes the effort to try his best to inform us, the Bahamian people, not with books that he wrote, but books that we supposed to be reading when it relates to the Constitution and stuff like that, right? So it shouldn't be. I mean, we in this country, we need more men in this country willing to stand up against what's been happening in this country, and not just willing to continue to lie themselves down because of monetary gain, right? Because we didn't prove that ain't help growing. That is not growing the Bahamas. It's growing some people in the Bahamas, but it's not actually trickling down to grow the Bahamas. We didn't see that for 53 years. So for people to continue protecting and trying to make sure that the status quo that they benefit from stays in place, we the Bahamian people, we have to reject that system, because the Bahamas is for Bahamians, and everybody, whether you're a PLP, FNM, or COI, everybody has the right to voice their opinion, and we're supposed to be moving upward, onward together, and none of these parties them really bringing the Bahamian people with them. They are just having parties and food and drinks, and that ain't no way to try to educate people about what needs to happen or what can happen once a year. Have a nice day.
Thanks very much. Now, I'm not saying I agree with what happened at the Sunday live at 5 and 0. I'm just saying I understand the intent. The intent was a spin. I understand what happens during the election time. And there are people who will say this, and your job is to respond to it. And that's why all of the big lawyers came forward and said, what are you talking there? It don't make no sense. And this is why it don't make no sense. They pointed out, and the Bahamian people will conclude, I agree, I disagree, I believe in this, I don't believe in this, and then we go to the polls. So saying to the caller who calls every station defends the Bass, if the proceeds in the foundations were acquired through criminal activity, it was not acquired through criminal activity. So let me make sure, I'm just reading this, but no, texted no. And you put it in your kid's name, I don't know why I should continue reading this. Also, the government is paying someone who got proceeds. No, I'm not going to finish reading that. No, I'm not going to finish reading that texter. Yeah, I see where you're trying to go. You trying to get me in problems. So let's see. Like the caller, I also doubt the declarations of some of the candidates. I feel some have more than they declared. Okay. I also think within 30 days refers to the period prior to and not within 30 days leading to the election to declare the contracts. It makes no sense that it's being interpreted as it is. But the point is, it has different interpretations, right? And we now conclude what interpretation is. So, and this is what I love with law. This is what I love with the idea, or appreciate the idea of the Constitution. They have different interpretations, and then it goes to court if you challenge it. Let's go to the callers. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. You're live, caller.
Help me understand what is legal and what is not legal. The caller before the last one, he was defending the number guy, right? Was the number business illegal before Perry Christie turned it over in the referendum?
Let me pause you there. I guess you're talking about calling it criminal enterprise, right?
Was it legal or
hold on.
illegal?
Let me try my best to explain to you. I see you asked the question. Was anyone convicted or charged or anything? I don't know if anybody was convicted or tried on anything. You could say the number business is illegal. I cool with that. You could say that. But hold on. You could say that. Say back then, Newry, the number business was illegal. But if you were not accused or tried or for any crime connected to that, you can't say I'm a criminal for something illegal. I ain't doing nothing. So don't do it.
No, I ain't doing. I asked you a question. I don't know where you. I'm asking you was the number business illegal before Perry Christie overturned the referendum when they did it? That's what I asked you.
Gambling without any authority from the government, because you can get permission from the government to do numbers, is illegal.
you running from around the question.
I just answered you. I talked to the court of law.
So no question.
And I answered you.
Was it illegal?
No. Okay, it was not illegal. So
It was not illegal. Okay, so if it wasn't illegal, why they had a referendum on it?
To what do you call it? They said they want to. What are the right words? Regularize means that they want to tax it. The referendum on it. Hold on, let me explain to you. Since you wanted to go this way, the referendum was on whether you want to tax it. Yes or no, and that was the referendum of.
That's what it was?
Yep.
Wow. All right, then. I since it wasn't illegal, I stand down.
And they used the word, I can show you how to use it. They used the word regularize. You know what regularize means? Regularize means they want to tax it. They ain't said nothing but illegal or illegal. They ain't used that inside that referendum at all.
Okay, so when they was doing it before the referendum, it was legal. Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Now you know.
Thanks.
You're welcome, man. I hope to explain things every so often. Let me read this text and go to the next one. Say, hey, CA, I pray the Bahamians continue to get everything they have gotten for the last 54 years. Mr. Bean should be applauded for his bravery to stand up to the status quo. Just because you're rich and a PLP candidate or a supporter, you should not be allowed to break the law. I don't sure which people you're talking about. All media houses should be investigated by IRCA because you guys are biased to the core. And everybody who listens to CA Newry knows that Newry is not biased. I change sides like crazy depending on the day, right? Weren't web shops illegal before 2013? There was no such thing as a web shop in the Bahamas. So it can't be illegal because we didn't know what it was. The idea that there was online gaming, and Lord, I don't want to see Alan call and try to explain this because he's talking like for hours. He explained that web shop buying was one of those loopholes that was used. So when you ask, weren't the web shops illegal? No. You could go on a web shop on the internet and gamble whatever jurisdiction before, right? This person saying, Cecil, that is not correct. It was illegal. You're talking about numbers, and then we talk about web shops, two different things. If it wasn't, why did the police conduct multiple raids to uncover illegal gaming? Plenty people bowing for money. I'm not sure if there was a raid. I think there was a raid for one of Mr. Flower's businesses, and they returned the money. They said, man, no, that ain't the case after the investigation. So no, web shops didn't get raided. They raided number houses, and at that present time, there were web shops, two different things. But these debate we had before, how can we still happen on these things we already concluded on, though? That means we're going backwards in terms of our interpretation, because this was finished with. We can take a quick break. I see you callers. Don't hang up. Don't hang up, man. Come and join this conversation. We'll be right back on the other side of this break.
Please. They'll call you in for your x-ray shortly.
That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
We came to celebrate IT. Celebrate IT. Transfers for a chance to win Indeed. Celebrate IT. Life is good, so we say la vie. No la parfait, Monty garçon. Celebrate IT with GK Money Services. Send 3 with GK Money and Western Union for a chance to win. To send free for the rest of the year. 3 lucky customers will win. Follow us at GKMSBAA for more details. Promotion ends May 18th. Western Union.
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update at noon.
Welcome back to Guardian Radio AM. So, yeah, they're trying to get the news from me. Says, good morning, CA. How does these declarations compare to what was reported in 2021 for those persons who are seeking re-election? Also, were these numbers verified by a reputable accounting firm? Of course, it was no reputable accounting firm confirming it. If not, we can't trust what any of them are reporting. It is interesting how they report these declarations but fail to follow the law on disclosures. It is interesting. And I think it's something that you notarize. You notarize and say, I swear that what I put here is the truth, and that's what it is. I guess if there's some kind of legal challenge, they could return to it and use it as evidence of some sort. CA, the person must already be under consideration by Parliamentary Registration Department for the option to refuse the application. The election date is the true north position outlined in the Constitution. The counting 30 days back from that point established the end point of within the period. Okay, let's see the next text before I go to the caller. I guess Mr. Fox was never charged with, what did Mr. Fox have to do with this? Right? Newry, stop trying to confuse Bahamians. The number house never used to pay tax and didn't have no license. They was illegal. I don't care how you spin it. Web shops was legal because they did have license. See? I have to say what you're trying to say, right? We all know the web shops had license, business license. We all know that, right? So they were taxed. They paid tax to have a web shop. Let's go to the callers. Guardian Radio AM, you live.
A pleasant good morning, Mr. Newton, Mr. Newry. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Let's speak on the topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, the topic is only illegal numbers and stuff like that?
No, the topic is the numbers declaration that we did.
Or the numbers declaration. Because when we talk about these illegal numbers and so forth, remember growing up,
No, we ain't going back. Wait, no. We ain't going back when you grew up. That's what.
we got to talk about the numbers rocking.
No, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about No. We ain't talking about 200 years ago. I don't know, but 200 years ago, and I don't want to go back then. You were born when we just got free, get free from from slavery. I don't go back then.
I'm not talking slavery.
Then talk about round circa 2000.
Did the man make a million by bootlegging liquor?
I don't talk about no one who bootleg liquor. We ain't talking about that.
Didn't Percy was the treasure of the
I don't want to talk. Percy was there before I born. I don't want to talk about Percy. I don't know who Percy is. I don't want to talk about him.
You don't know about Bo and
I don't know about Bo. No, I don't know.
No.
All these strange names you won't talk. Like, stay focused. Stay focused on the conversation, man. Stay focused on the conversation. Let's go to the next caller. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM. Patch that caller through there, Kermit.
Hello.
Go ahead. You're live.
Thank you, Sparky. We got to stay focused. That's why we fail comprehension.
My God.
You know, but let me try and get a start at this. I'm confused between whether you're supposed to gazette something prior or you're able to do it after the date the election is called. I think that is where it's going to come down to when this is presented to the courts. Now, Mr. Bain is not this in any local courts here, I don't think, because I have a pretty good understanding. The courts are basically little banks, so they'll take your money and then...
Hey. My family work for the courts. You can't say...
Okay, fine.
Take it back. First, no, you got to take it back.
I retract that courts are little banks.
Continue. What?
Some are bigger ones than little.
See?
But I take it back.
Go ahead.
But he's going to have enough money to go all the way to the Privy Council because that's the constitutional legal team that could weigh in on this. And I think it's going to come down to whether he should have declared 30 or 20 or whatever days prior to the election date call or after. How do you read that?
If he has money to go all the way to the Privy Council again, I think he went to the Privy Council when he owed that lady the money and then he lost. Let the man go to the Privy Council. Let the man go to the Privy Council and then pay the expense. I go with that.
And then he's entitled to get $50 million if he proves, I understand.
No, it's a $5 million bet. $5 million. Yeah, but you got to come up with the money to go to the Privy Council first. But he's a millionaire. He can afford it.
But how do you read it, though? Is it declaring prior to the date or after the election date is
and
called?
All of that is subjective and have to be proven in court because everyone has in different... The Constitution can be interpreted. People, and Mr. Bain interpreted one way, and all the lawyers and the PLP interpret a different way. That means you have to go to court.
It's based on interpretation.
It's based on interpretation. There you go. My pleasure, man. Let's see if I go through some of these texts. It says, C.A. Sparky was born right after the slaves were freed. I know! Say Percy Munch was born around that. Yes, I know. I mean, ancient times, man. Right? Says, CA, do you have a constitution and laws? Actually, they do have a constitution. What is the political immunity? Does that apply to politicians? If proceeds were gained through illegal activity, should businesses be repossessed? Also, is it a conflict of interest having multiple government contracts and running for office? Where am I? Running for office? Yes, there were many raids. Government needed money. You can have government contracts once you declare that you have government contracts. I hope that helps you out. And what them other questions are moot. I don't need. It's a good day, CA. You're a bias is showing big time. I don't think I'm biased. I'm trying my best to explain these things to you all. And I hope one or two people appreciate it. Morning, CA. Listening to the declaration sound like some of these MPs' net worth increase in 4.5 years while poor minds decrease. And I see a number of these. I see one in, I think, immigration, former Minister of Immigration. His net worth raised 300%. I'm not sure. I mean, he's doing well. But they're going up 300%. I know that. It's the money he make from 1 million to 300 to 3 million. I noticed that. Let's go to the caller. Guardian Radio AM. You're live, caller.
Stay focused, Newry.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I say stay focused.
I try my best.
I think you biased, man. You just practice that sarcasm a lot.
Go ahead.
It sound like you maybe being a certain way, but I guess you're just being Newry. You're good in that.
I good at being Newry.
Yeah, you're good in that. So did he declare?
Whom?
If he getting contract with the government?
I do not know.
On Dwight show the other day, did he say yes?
He said, how I interpret it, see, how interpretation? He said that the businesses that have contracts with the government, he doesn't own. He said he have some shares. But other people, some other government people have some shares inside it too, who ain't declaring whatever. They said it's a business.
And they running for election?
Apparently so. That's something how I interpret it. And again, that is subjective. And the lawyers came out and said that he has time. So unless you plan to challenge it in court, right, and say, see, no, the Constitution says this. You have one people say it's this way, and the next people say it's that way, and now it has to be some conclusion.
Like the Trey said, ain't no issue. The other day, the Trey said that ain't no issue. They don't see it, but then the parliamentary officer sound like saying Mr. Bastian qualified to run.
Yeah, now we got to wait.
Who telling the truth or who
it's not in telling the truth, it's interpretation. And there's have to be a conclusion to the interpretation. And only there'll be interpretation if someone challenges it in court. So if Mr. Bain wants to go to court and challenge it after the election, whatever it is, he could do that. And then they'll have lawyers on both sides argue it, and then they have a conclusion.
Sound like they're using the loopholes in the law.
There ain't no loopholes. That's what the law is.
That's what the law is.
Yes.
And we confuse one people saying the next. So linking them wrong, what they saying?
I didn't say that. I'm saying they have an interpretation.
Oh, they have a different interpretation.
And that's where we at. Two different interpretations.
So tell me something. You were saying something about Mr. Fox. I don't know if you mean Agent Fox or you're talking about Rick Fox, the basketball player, the former basketball player. I hear Mr. Fox on the TV the other night. Him and his daughter was talking about some of the good things, and he was talking about in the next 5 years what will be happening for not just the area, but I think he was talking about Freetown. I don't know if he's meaning the whole.
From what I interpreted, he plans to invest in one of the candidates and to have some things happen in Freetown.
Well, I think he was in Wayne Monroe, but you know, them PLP people say they don't want Wayne Monroe in that area.
We shall see it soon.
Did you hear Leslie Miller last week on this radio station saying that Wayne Monroe is not a people's person?
We all have interpretations of different people.
No. I said you hear Leslie say it, you could interpret it how you want. It's Leslie Miller, who they're campaigning for them. He campaigned for Wayne the last time. It's him who's going to tell the people vote for Wayne Monroe because they didn't want to vote for him in 2021. Now he's saying now that Wayne Monroe is not a people's person. I hope the people in Freetown listen. But tell me something. Is it any truth that Mr. Fox was indicted for human smuggling in
Who Fox? Who Fox?
Agent Fox.
I have nothing to do with my conversation today. Let's do this last caller before I go. Please squeeze that caller in. Go ahead, caller. Got it. I'm squeezing you in, caller. I'm squeezing you in. You have 30 seconds.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Listen, I remember last election. When Simonet won in the election.
I think he ran last election, by the way.
being the Prime Minister.
Brent Sumner didn't run the last election.
No, hold on. I said last election he
He
didn't run.
did not run the last election.
Before that. Okay,
No,
listen to me.
two elections before that.
Right.
2 elections, okay.
Election before that.
No, election before that.
Let me speak, please.
I just saying that you're wrong with your quoting.
Okay. All right. I was wrong with that one. But anyhow, when Brent Sumner ran, the government, the FNM government, you was using Brent Sumner offices. No one said anything about that. So why is a big problem of Sebastian?
And let me explain
why
that.
Is this problem?
And let me explain.
Why this got to come up like this?
Let me explain that. You're welcome. I'm explaining right now. The issue is declaration. When there wasn't declared, when one of the contracts with the airport with Mr. Simler wasn't declared, he had to be fired. Not that he had the contracts, no. You were able to have contracts. The Constitution said once you declare, you can have as many contracts as they want. The conversation they're having now is whether Mr. Bastian declared in time. So we misconstruing what the conversation about. The conversation is whether he declared in time. And now we having the debate. The PLP say yes, he have time to declare. The COI say no, he already supposed to declare from a long time. And now we have to go to court and determine who's right. Right? It's nothing to get mad about. It's nothing to get mad about. It's just people having positions and different views on these things. The morning numbers was illegal. You forgot how people got arrested at web shops. The only one web shop was raided and the money was returned. It was returned because they determined that the web shop was legal. It had a license and that he was not operating a number house. He just letting people use his web shop to do things. So I hear you all trying to misconstrue what happened. But no, nobody was charged for owning a web shop. Okay? Anyway, I hope that helped. I'm doing my best now. This has been Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. Have a wonderful day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.